Good morning, students. Today I am going to start my ninth lecture on tertiary activities. So, first of all, I want to discuss the previous points. Empowered workers. Entrepreneurs are the empowered workers of the quaternary sector and slowly emerging quinary sector. They present an important stage of development in sector of economic activities where the need for self actualization is not motivated by wealth and security alone but by other factors. They have predominantly a value system which emphasizes quality of life. Now, first of all, I want to discuss with you this one, quaternary activities. Quaternary activities, the quaternary activities is the expanded form of services. It includes special knowledge, technical skills, and communication abilities or administrative abilities. This sector encompasses a wide spectrum of activities ranging from white collared government servant to that of doctors, scientists, executives of multinational corporations. All these people are engaged in providing services to the society. So doctors, scientists, they are needed for the society. In the present time, doctors are the coronavirus warriors. So the quaternary sector along with the tertiary sector has replaced all primary and secondary employment as the basis for economic growth. Over half of the workers in developed economies are in the knowledge sector. Now, what are the main characteristics of quaternary activities? The term quaternary basically refers to the more intellectual occupations. So, what is it is related to intellectual occupations. Second point, their task is to think, research, and develop ideas. What is their main focus? On research, and they develop new ideas. Third point, as such, this sector is especially concerned with research and development. So especially this sector is concerned with research and development. These days we are the research scientists, they are doing research for the vaccine of COVID-19. So is a medical research, and in engineering field and science field also they do research. In the most economically and advanced nations, the quaternary activities involve a small but growing proportion of the population. These people have the highest incomes and a higher degree of mobility in the process of career advancement. So people, they move from one place to another place in search of the better opportunities or for their career. Growth of quaternary activities. In recent years, revolution in information technology has given rise to knowledge-based industries. There has been a remarkable growth in the science and technology. So there is remarkable growth in the field of science and technology. Based industrial complexes called science and technological parks. So these days the technology has been advanced, and we can see their technological parks also. Silicon Valley is the example. Okay, in Bangalore is also called the Silicon Valley of India. Culinary activities. The now next topic is culinary activities. What do you mean by culinary activities? Culinary activity is the highest level decision maker. So what is the difference between the quaternary activities and culinary activities? Because culinary activities, those people they are in culinary activities, they have power, they can change the decision, and they are the decision makers. They have to decide and they work on the policy, okay, makers. And these one quaternary activities, they are the scientists, doctors, these are, so they do research and they advance our economy. And these culinary activities, the highest level of this is the highest level, and it is related to decision makers or policy makers perform culinary activities. So these people they are related to this field, culinary activities. So they are decision makers or they make policies. So they are related to culinary activities. Culinary activities focus on the creative rearrangement of new and existing ideas. So what are the existing ideas? They do some advancement in that. There are These are referred as gold collar professions. So many times this question is asked in exams also, your UPSC exams also, gold collar jobs. Okay, so they are culinary activities people, they are related to gold collar professions. They have special and highly paid skills of senior business executives, research scientists, and financial consultants, government officials, and legal consultants, etc. Clear? Now, what is meant by outsourcing? This is very important question. Many times it has been asked in board exams also. What is meant by outsourcing? What is the role of KPOs and BPOs? So first of all, we will discuss the first point is outsourcing. So what do you mean by outsourcing? Outsourcing or contracting out is giving work to an outside agency to improve efficiency and reduce cost. So what is the purpose of this outsourcing? To increase the production and reduce the cost. When outsourcing involves transferring work to overseas locations, it is described by the term offshoring. Although both of offshoring and outsourcing are used together. So because those are the developed countries, they transfer their work to the developing countries, and developing countries they can hire the workers at very low cost, so their production and they will get more benefit. And what is the benefit the developing countries they get? Their people they get employment. Activities involved in outsourcing. Which activities are involved in outsourcing? So first of all, this information technology, IT sector, human resources and customer support, call center services, manufacturing and engineering. So data processing is an IT related services easily carried out in Asian, East European and African countries. In these countries, IT skilled staff with good English language, so they can do that work very easily, and they are available at low wages than those in the developed countries. Company, for example, company in Hyderabad or Manila does work on a project based on GIS techniques for a country like USA or Japan. Now call centers. Okay, so call centers outsourcing has resulted in mushrooming of call centers in India. So call centers in India, we find call centers in India, China, Eastern Europe, Israel, Philippines, Costa Rica. It creates new jobs in these countries. Now, what are the benefits of outsourcing? So, what are the benefits of outsourcing? Wages in developed countries are higher. So, in the beginning already I explained you the wages in the higher countries are higher, and therefore the work can be got done in developing countries where wages are low. Foreign companies get benefit of flexible laws of developing countries. It raises the income of developing countries. So because developing countries people they get jobs, so their income will be increased. Fourth point, it facilitates increase in production. It also increased in production because they will be able to complete their task within the limited time, so the companies will be in benefit. Now I want to discuss with you this one. This is KPOs and BPOs. So what do you mean by KPOs and BPOs? So KPOs and BPOs. KPO requires skilled workers. KPO means knowledge processing. Okay. So they require workers, therefore it is different from BPO. The companies are successful in creating additional opportunities of business through KPO. The examples of KPO are research and development activities, e-education, commercial research, intellectual property research, legal profession and banking sector. Now next topic is BPO. So BPO is business processing outsourcing. Clear? BPO is business processing outsourcing. It stands for business processing outsourcing, which involves customer support service, call centers and similar other processes. The developed countries transfer these jobs as overhead costs are much lower, making it profitable to get job work carried out. So those countries are developed countries, so they hire the workers at a very low cost. So I think, have you understood this KPO and BPO or not? Now, what is medical tourism? This is also a very important one. What is medical tourism? So what is medical tourism? Medical tourism, when medical treatment is combined with international tourism activity, it is known as medical tourism. Many people come to India from rich or developed countries to get benefits of low cost medical services. There are private hospitals of international standards are being opened in India nowadays. So also it has increased the medical tourism in India. The cost of various procedure, surgical as well as non-surgical in India is much lower when we compare it with the developed countries, because in developed countries the treatment is very costly. India has emerged as the leading country of medical tourism in the world. In the present time, you can say that India has supplied the medicine for COVID-19. So it is the great privilege for India. In 2005, about 55,000 patients from USA visited India for treatment. Medical tourism brings abundant benefits to the developing countries. World-class hospitals with latest technology are located in metropolitan cities in India, and these hospitals they cater to patients all over the world for MRI. MRI, what do you mean by MRI? It is a uh, total X-ray of the body of the person, and ultrasound tests are also there. So one of the example is there. Escort Heart Institute of Delhi and Faridabad conduct about 15,000 surgeries annually. Chennai has become the health capital of India nowadays. Now the next topic or the last topic of this chapter, what is digital divide? Okay, so what is digital divide? So this digital divide development emerging from the information and communication technology is unevenly distributed. So this technological communication, it is unevenly distributed. At some places it is developed and some places it is not. So across the globe it is unevenly distributed. Some regions are prospered while others are lagged behind. This is known as digital divide. So what do you mean by digital divide? Means some areas are prospered, they are well versed with this digital technology, but other areas they are devoid of it. They didn't get it, this facility. So it is called digital divide. In developing countries, this kind of divide is seen more than developed countries. In developing countries, this we can see this digital divide, because those cities they are developed cities, metropolitan cities, so they have this digital technology, and the rural areas they did not have. So in developing countries, we can see it very well, digital divide. All NCERT questions you have to write, and also I have given you some questions here. Outsourcing has resulted in opening up of the large number of jobs opportunities in several countries. This question also has been asked many times in board exam. These all questions, yes, I am going to give you, they have asked in board exams. So what are culinary activities? Write its characteristics also. What is medical tourism? Explain the scope of medical services for overseas patients in India. Explain any three characteristics of quaternary activities. Fifth question, it is services are a very important aspect for economic development of a country. Analyze the statement by explaining 5 components of a service sector. This also I have given you in my lecture. In my previous PDFs you will get this. Explain retail trading services and explain in detail the significance of transport and communication service. The rest of the questions you have to do from NCERT book, and these questions you have to go through all these questions answer you will get in my notes. Thank you. That's all for today.